Warning. This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
Yo, what's going on? I am Scoots Bronson.
And I am S. Foster.
That's right, you tuned into another episode of Viewers Anonymous where we give you our very own takes and reviews of movies and television out of Hollywood. What's going on with you, brother?
Oh man, I can't call it, man. It's been definitely slow motion, man. Slow motion at work, slow motion with the pies that are dropping. But coming off of the holidays, man, first and foremost, let me say this real quick if you don't mind, coming off of my youngest son birthday, Christmas Eve, you know what I'm saying? He hit
Oh
the
yeah, for
big
sure.
yeah, hit the big 13 and everything. So happy birthday to him. But how your holidays been treating you though, man?
Man, my holidays have been amazing, bro. I really have no complaints to be honest with you. I got to spend, what I'm saying, some time with my kids and got my kids everything that they was looking for. So outside of that, what I'm saying, everything was good, man.
That's what's up, man.
I ain't got no real problems, you know what I'm saying? Everything was lovely. Um, you know what I'm saying? Spent it with family, you know. Like I said, I sat there for the most part and just watched them play video games all Christmas. So that's always fun.
That's what's up, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, same thing for me as well, man. Spending time with the fam. You know what I'm saying? Did the
Hmm.
usual. You know what I'm saying? We hit up Mom Duke's house, and you know, uh, it was a big turnout this year, man. I mean, it was a house full, man, house full of fam. But yeah, the
Yeah.
kids pretty much got stuff that they was looking for. So they had a pretty good Christmas and all. So yeah, that's
Hmm.
that's really that's really all that matters, man. As long as they had a good Christmas, they had a good time, then I'm good.
Word, word. That's what's up, man. That's always good to hear, bro. So, man, two more episodes before, you know what I'm saying, the big 3 year anniversary. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
The
Yep.
three and out, you know what I'm saying? I'm calling it the three and out. Well, it ain't really the three and out. That's really a bad term. But
Yeah. I'm like,
I
hold
don't
on,
know.
what
I
do
come
you?
up with something better. Yeah, I come up with something better. I don't know. That was just the first thing that popped up in my head, man. You know what I'm saying? But basically, man, you know what I'm saying? We've been doing this for quite some time. And I'm not gonna lie to you. We got like what over 200 episodes.
I think it's two. I think this episode is 232, if I'm not mistaken. I could be
Man,
wrong. It could be 233,
200.
but
Yeah, 230 plus episodes, man. You know what I'm saying? We getting closer and closer to greatness. It's been a fun ride, and it's continuing to be a fun ride. Um, we got a very, how can I say this? What would you describe this movie as?
so when we did excuse me, when we did what we watching, right?
Yeah.
When I spoke about this movie, what I called it was refreshing. I remember that
Mhm.
because I called it
Mhm.
refreshing because it was something that I never seen before. It was something that was
Right.
unexpected, and what we thought was a spaceship wasn't even close to being a spaceship. So it was
At
just like
all.
to see something that was so different, and to have, and this is something that I was really wanting to talk to you about. We'll get into it, but like the Gordy storyline, which was different, and you're trying to figure out like how does that storyline fit what's going on, and I really wanted to talk to you
Mhm.
about that. But man, I mean, honestly, man, it was refreshing, it was different, and that's the one thing that I really like about Jordan Peele is the fact of when you get one of his movies, or if you get a movie that he's producing,
Mhm.
it's not gonna be the way that it appears. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
for me, you never can judge his movies by a cover. Like if you watch the trailer,
Ever.
you might
Or
think you
trailer,
might
yeah.
think you know, yeah, you might think you know what's going on, but once you get to watching it, you like, yo, this had a totally different timeline or subject matter that I didn't even expect. So that was
Mhm.
like the main thing that I loved about this movie, And the only adjective that I could come up with was refreshing because it was just like to watch it and to get something that I never seen before. That's why I described it that way.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you, man. I mean, this is a real out of the box type movie, only because you think that it's about this like UFO phenomenon, right?
Hmm.
In the show, like you think that it's when you see the trailer, you see that it's some people on the ranch or whatever, and it seems like they seeing like some UFO sightings or whatever.
Yeah.
And every now and then, like one of them might get snatched up by the UFO. But then, like when you watching this and you come to see that it's not a UFO at all, and this is something totally different, it kind of like bugs you out because you this whole time it's giving the appearance of UFO, and then like you also got another story being told in the midst of all of that as well. So you don't even realize like when it first comes on, you don't even understand what the hell this whole beginning has to do with anything.
Yep.
And then as time is going on, and as the movie's going on, it's showing you how all of this is connected, and you like, oh shit, okay. So I kind of get it. Which I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm still confused as to how this shit is connected. The only way I know it's connected is through the June dude
Yeah.
or the Jupe dude, whatever Jupiter June or whatever the nigga name is. That's the only way I know that how that shit all connects. But like outside of that, I was fucking confused. But everything else about the movie though was dope because you see a lot of character development in this film, which you really do in a lot of his movies. You know what I'm saying? Like even though um, it seems as if Kiki Palmer is like the main character, you realize that she's not the main character of this movie. It's Daniel Kaluuya. He's the main character of the movie, and it's
Hmm.
basically what I'm saying him trying to well it's not trying to but it's him being forced to kind of find his way and find himself in the midst of what I'm saying his father just passing, what I'm saying, dealing with what I'm saying the family business kind of going under and a bunch of different shit too. So it's like once you see what I'm saying all of these pieces fall into place, you got all of this shit happening and then you look up, there's a goddamn spaceship in the goddamn sky. You like, come on man, give my man a break. You know what I'm saying? But it's pretty much just like I don't want to say coming to age, but it's more so like a self revelation or revelation of what I'm saying, who this character is in a sense.
Yeah, because the OJ character, man, was he was very interesting. And I think Emerald, his sister, look, I like Kiki Palmer. I do. She's a great actress. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations on being pregnant and all that type stuff. But I felt like and I think that's what her character was supposed to do, but it just felt like she was doing the most. You know what I mean? It was just like she was just way too out there. OJ was real laid back. It was just like you got two totally opposite people who are, you know what I'm saying, brothers and sisters. You got one who's trying to, he stayed to work with his dad on the ranch. You know what I'm saying? They got something that
Hmm.
we never even, I mean, I don't know. Let me not put you in it because I didn't even know that this was a thing. Um, but for black ranchers who have horses that they use for basically extras in movies,
Hmm.
and to find out that the very first motion picture was a black jockey on a horse and it just happened to be their great grandfather, and so
Hmm.
that's why they stay in that business of Hollywood of using horses in films. And it's just like, so you see this storyline of this black family who has a ranch and they use horses to, to appear in films. But then at the same time, you have this Gordy storyline, which Gordy
Hmm.
is this chimp that was on this chimp, right? Yeah, a chimpanzee, yeah.
Yep.
So this chimp that was on this show that I think his name is Jupe. I think that's what they call him. But
Because it's just like Jupiter or something, right?
Yeah, but I mean his first name Ricky. I'm gonna call him Ricky. Fuck that shit. So
Yeah.
Ricky was a child actor who worked on the show that had the chimp on it, and then I think what they was. I think the only thing. Well, there's two things that I can only see that ties this stuff together, and you tell me
Mhm.
if it's some more stuff to add to it, or if you didn't think of this or whatever. So there was a scene where when OJ had the horse and they was doing a little presentation thing and talking about the safety precautions and all that type shit. When Emerald came
Mhm.
out, did the presentation, and then put through some some promotional shit at the end that she
Yeah.
just had to put in there. But he was trying to tell them like, hey, back up, don't get behind the horse, boom, boom, boom. The
Mhm.
dude put that thing in front of the horse's um eyes, and then the horse
Yeah.
heard a noise. I can't remember if it wasn't a balloon, but I think somebody dropped
It was
something,
like a
and
flag.
then yeah, and then the horse kicked this person that was well, he really kicked something out of the hand of a person that was behind them, and
Yeah.
then they ended up using a mechanical horse because of the little stunt that happened there. Now the
Mhm.
Gordy situation was they were, doing the show, everything's going fine. It was a birthday party, and a balloon pop, and the chimp went nuts and basically killed everybody on set except
No,
Ricky.
remember they was. Yeah, I was gonna say they was on set. They was filming a scene.
Yeah, yeah, they
It
was
wasn't no
filming a
birthday party.
sitcom. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was a birthday party in the scene in the sitcom that they
Oh,
was
okay. I see what
doing.
you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You right. You right. You right.
and because remember the chimp had a birthday hat on his head.
Yeah, birthday hat on.
So
Yeah.
so a balloon pop. So I think that because even in that presentation, OJ was saying like, yo, no sudden noises. You know what I'm saying? The horses they
Mhm.
don't really like that. So when the balloon popped with um with Gordy, he went nuts and just basically killed everybody. But he saw Ricky. I get it was like something snapped, and then he saw Ricky and he tried to give him a pound, and they ended up, terminating the thing or whatever. And the one thing that I
Mhm.
didn't understand, I know this is a lot, but like the, and I think this is just something that Jordan Peele does. Do you get also okay? Do you agree with what I said? But do you also get the shoe standing up by itself? Because Ricky kept that shoe and he had it in that little room that he had in his office.
So no, I 100% agree with what you were saying because I even for real though, like I didn't think of it of you know what I'm saying in the way you putting it, but the shoot thing, like that was one thing. That's one of those things where I was like steady focused on, right? Because you see that the shoe belonged to if you watch in the beginning, the shoe belonged to the body that's laying there, and it kind of
Hmm.
looked like a woman or something like that. But her foot there, she ain't got no shoe on, and the other shoe is just standing up, and like it's literally centered in the shot where you can't not see it. It got a blood stain on it and everything else. Like you can clearly see that it's the shoe right there, but the way it's standing upright, like you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying, from the heel to the toe, it's standing, you know what I'm saying, vertical. And so, you know what I'm saying, you kind of looking at it, you kind of like, man, what the fuck? How the hell is that? You know what I'm saying? Like my whole thing, my second time watching it is how the fuck is the shoe, you know what I'm saying, like standing like that, and then you see, the monkey tap the body and it don't do nothing, and then they take out the hat and then it just go on to the next scene. Um, the funny thing about all of this was how you know what I'm saying, like we end up seeing, and to me, this was the comparison that I made. It was the way that the animals had cared for the people around them, right?
hmm
Like when the fucking balloon popped with the what's the monkey's name again?
Gordy.
Gordy. When the balloon popped with Gordy, if you notice, Gordy killed everybody on set or most of the people on set and injured some other people. But when it came to Rick, it didn't do shit. It was actually trying to bring Rick out to say it's okay.
Yep.
And then that's when they got shot. And then with OJ, the horses was kind of giving them an alert of, hey, something going on this motherfucker. Remember when they first seen it, the horse was neighing and shit, and then it was like, all right, you taking too long, let me get the fuck out of here. And it kind of ran off without him. And then that's when he turned around and finally realized, like, yo, what the fuck was that? So, you know what I'm saying? He thought it was a cloud. And then eventually, as time went on, you kind of seen how, in a weird way, the whole Gordy incident, it didn't necessarily like save his life, but at the same time, you could kind of see where he still kind of gained fame from being the kid in that situation. Cause now, like, he got a whole ranch, he got a whole amusement park and shit that he running and he owning and shit. Like, he doing pretty good for himself for somebody who
Mhm.
was in that situation. And then on the other side with OJ, you know what I'm saying? Like, the horses was keeping the business afloat by selling the horses off and doing everything else. Like, yo, that was keeping money in their hands in order for them to be able to still do what they need to do to keep the family business within the, you know what I'm saying, within the family. And then on top of that, the horses was also helping him by saving him from the big ass UFO alien thing.
Well, but Ricky also was an asshole too because apparently he had some sort of agreement with the entity that's hiding behind the cloud because he
Mhm.
was getting OJ's horses and he knew OJ was in a tough spot. You know, that was the main, and he
Mhm.
was telling him like, "Yo, I'm I'm basically leasing the horses to you because I want a chance to be able to
Mhm.
buy the horse back." He's like, "Yeah, we can do that." When you know you feeding the horses to this damn thing that's flying around in the air looking like a flying saucer, like that's fucked up. Like,
Right.
you, you know, but at the same time, it's like the one scene that was funny as hell is when he first went up there when OJ first went up there to go talk to him, he had like this little mini argument with his sister about her promoting shit, you
Mhm.
know, after the thing and all that. And he was like, "Yo,
Yeah.
just be quiet, let me do all the talking." And then she come up there and she's talking. He was like, "Don't do that." And that fool, let me tell you, like he got like this little under the breath shit, man, that be fucking hilarious, but like, and it's
Yeah.
just like it's it's really like a black thing, man, because like the reason this movie like the name is so fitting, you know,
Yeah.
like there would be situations where like when they did the thing when the when they was messing with them and they was acting like they was alien, like they turned on the lights and shit in the barn thing and turned on the sprinklers and shit,
Mhm.
and he turned it off and then the light came back on, he turned around and looked like an alien and he was like,
Mhm.
nope. He was like, and he started walking off. But like the whole dynamic between them two, as brothers and sisters, it was like you could tell they fought with each other, but like she had different not expectations, but she had different aspirations to do other things, and he was just fine with just taking over the business, from his father when his father passed. But like, dude, even the way that he passed, like, and now they came up with a great excuse,
Mhm.
but he knew it wasn't no fucking plane flying over. You know what I'm saying? Like just weird objects just started falling from the sky, and a fucking nickel killed his dad. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That was wild, man. That was like super wild. And for his dad to be, what I'm saying, Keith David, that was I liked that too. But yeah, like but you're right about Ricky though. Like it was he was in a good situation, but
Mhm.
to experience what he experienced, because that has to be, I mean, that's scary for an adult. But to be a kid on a sitcom show and then a chimp just wiles out and just
Let
basically
me tell you
kills
something.
like everybody that you've been working with.
Let me tell you something. That was the most realistic part of this movie. If a fucking ape or chimp or whatever goes berserk, nigga, there's nothing nobody in that motherfucker can do that's short of having a gun. If ain't no guns in there, It's over with. And I ain't talking about like no 22 or no 9. I'm talking about like a gun. I'm talking about like a shotgun or a motherfucking automatic, something that's gonna pack some heat. You got to put that
Yeah.
bad boy down because ain't no way in hell you gonna shoot that mother with a 9 and it's gonna be like ugh and then die. No, that mother's gonna come after you with some force, bro. I'm trying to tell you, them mothers is no joke.
Yeah,
Did you
and like he was talking.
speaking
Go
of
ahead.
that, did you ever hear? Did you ever hear about? And this is what I mean when I say they dangerous. You ever hear about the story of the monkey that was in the lab and they was being tested on and all that shit? And I think it's in like it was either in like Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic or one of them. But they was getting tested on, and one of them, the cage didn't lock all the way, so it got out and let the rest of them out.
Nah, that sounds like some Planet of the Ape shit.
Bruh, it let out all the rest of them, and they waited until the scientists came in, got out the cages, and killed everybody.
Man, it
That
sounds
shit
like
is
that's how
no
they got the
joke.
script.
Yeah, that shit is no joke, bro.
Hey man, that motherfucker was a real life Caesar, man.
Yeah, for real,
That's
for real.
crazy. That's super crazy. But yeah, man, I'm like you. Like, I mean, that's the only correlation that I could come up with the whole Gordy story. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the Gordy story had anything to do with Ricky coming up with this relationship with this thing where he would feed it. You know what I'm saying? Where he would feed it OJ's
Mm-hmm.
horses. It was just like I don't know. It's like I didn't really know where they came from. But let me ask you
I
this
don't
though.
think I don't think he necessarily had a relationship with it. And I'm be honest, and this is my theory because I had a theory on this too. I think he was spying on OJ and them. And I get that from the scene where remember she went to go get that fake horse.
Oh yeah, I definitely got to talk to you about that.
Okay, so remember when she got the fake horse, right?
Hmm.
And then they was sitting there or whatever, and then he popped up
Yep.
after they was trying to put it up out there or whatever, and he was talking about some party or something that he wanted them to go to or whatever that little event was. He was giving out the flyer or whatever, but
Hmm.
he just popped up out of nowhere. He ain't
Exactly
call
where
and
they
say he
were.
was coming, none of that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he was spying on them, bro.
That is a good observation because it's like they have a driveway they could you could drive up. Why did you pop up where the
Mm-hmm.
gate was closed? Exactly where they were.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So that was super weird. Um, but since I'm thinking about it right now, so this entity thing could only suck you up when you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting here like, okay, they put a fake horse out here. He sucks up the fake horse, but the horse didn't. They ain't got no eyes. Ain't got no real eyes. So how did he suck that up? Because it's
I
like,
think it's I think it's more so just the fact that that's the way it senses things is by faith. Because to me, that's the only thing that made sense.
yeah, because I was like, it only sucks up stuff that looks at it. So it was just like, how the fuck did he do that? Now, it was a great plan because what it
Mm-hmm.
did was it made it self-conscious. Like
Mm-hmm.
anything that had a ribbon on it, because it was stuck in its I don't know if I'm supposed to call it windpipes. I don't know what the fuck we supposed to call this shit. His throat. I don't know. But whatever it was
Yeah.
stuck up there and it was causing some fucking issues and once he finally was able to drop it, like you notice, like in the last couple of scenes, anytime it saw anything that looked like ribbons or flag or anything like that,
It
he just
wasn't mess
stopped
with it.
sucking. He was like, hell nah, y'all fucked me up one time. He was like, I ain't
Mm-hmm.
doing that shit again. But it was just like, I mean, it went along with the storyline. I just didn't understand like how it took up this fake horse when the fake horse didn't look at it. So that was just something that kind of just threw me off. But like I say, this whole film really can throw you off because I don't think it's supposed to make as much sense, man. But how did you feel about the Angel character, man? Because I fuck with Angel, dude.
Angel is the camera dude, right?
Yeah, he was the camera dude.
The one that came and set up all the cameras. He was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like he was a little weird, but he was cool. But you know what I'm saying? Like he looked out for him though, because when that camera went out, he called him like, "Hey, y'all camera out." He like, "I thought you was supposed to be looking at her." He like, "Yeah, I'm not, but nigga, look, I'm just letting you know this is some different. This is some ancient aliens type shit. Just letting y'all know, nigga, that camera out." So I mean, like you know what I'm saying? He actually looked out for him. If it wasn't for him, they could possibly got ate up by that motherfucker. So you know what I'm saying? That was a lot of love, man. And then he stuck with him too, though. He wasn't on no nah, I'm getting the fuck up out of here type shit. He was like, nah, we gonna do this as a team. I'm with y'all. So that was a lot of love. But for me, the to me, he just more so showed that you know what I'm saying. He was down for the cause, man. Like he had their back and he was really looking out for them, and that was dope to see.
I like how they not necessarily how to introduce them because like they had the whole scene at the store, but when he finally came to the ranch or whatever, and he did
Mm-hmm.
the whole screaming shit, and OJ was like, "Hey, don't do that." Don't be yelling. But like, so then he goes on this whole spiel about he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm just kind of down, man. My girl just broke up with me for 4 years." He was like,
Yeah, man, he was
and
going
then he
through it.
showed him the picture and shit. He was like, "Yeah, man, you might." He was like, keep her in mind because she she went and signed with a place at the
With
WB
the
or some shit like
CW.
that. See, no, but
With
the
the
CW,
CW.
yeah. He was like, she signed with the CW. He was like, so you gonna see her on TV and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? He Man, he was looking for a friend, man. You know what I'm saying? He just lost his
Mm-hmm.
girlfriend. He just had to tell somebody. Those were the people that he told. But
He was going
but
through
nah,
it.
yeah, yeah, I'm with you though. Angel was, and I don't think it was just the fact of like once he figured out what they was trying to do, as far as like trying to catch like what they thought was a UFO on camera. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that he was just staying around to see if he can get some money off of it. I think that he was just, generally interested as well. But
Yeah.
but the shit was dangerous, and he knew it was dangerous, and he still stuck around. So that was cool. That was cool.
Yeah, it was. What was the one dude's name? The producer dude's name?
Oh, that producer dude. That was Antlers.
Atlas. He was my dude because he was
Of
about
course.
the shit from beginning to end. He was willing to risk it all just to make sure he got the right shot, just to get it on film. Like he was like, bruh, I don't care what we doing, whatever y'all need to do it. I'm about to catch this mother on film because this is gonna be the greatest thing that mankind ever saw. And I love his
Well,
dedication to that because he really was making sure like they was getting busy with that shit, bro.
man, listen, the impossible shot is what he called it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
nah, he was,
And he had to get it.
and he got it. But the,
Yeah.
the only problem is, ain't nobody gonna see the shit. And then he said some shit about the one camera that he left behind that Angel was started controlling when he Angel when he was with the big one, and then he left the big one, and he was saying some shit about people don't deserve to see this or some shit. And
Mhm.
so then he went to get the impossible shot by looking up at the thing and letting the thing suck him up, and he's recording himself being sucked up into it. But like the one
Mhm.
shit, like my favorite part of this movie though is the part before he came when they were in the house, or Angel and Emerald was in the house. OJ was on the way because after the whole scene where everybody got sucked up at the fair thing or whatever his amusement park thing was. So, because
Mhm.
remember, OJ almost got sucked up as well because he was trying to save the horse or whatever. So he got knocked out, get his horse, so he's driving to the house, and then his car
Yeah.
turns off. But that whole scene of when it was hovering over the house, and so you could see that the rain wasn't hitting the house no more. So you could see the rain around the house. And then that thing must have finally started eating the people that was inside of it. And then all of that blood started falling onto the house. I was like, yo,
Mhm.
but then just the parts that you could just hear the people screaming up there, yo, that was
Oh my goodness.
crazy. That was
Can you
crazy. That was
imagine that, bro?
genius.
Like, can you imagine that? Just you just sitting there and chilling, bro. Next thing you know, you just see a cloud floating by. All you hear is, ah. Man, that shit will freak me the fuck out.
That was, man, listen, I'm with you, and that was genius. And that's
Yeah.
why I say this movie was refreshing because man, out of all the movies that have been made all throughout the time, I've never heard or seen anything like that before. Never.
Mhm.
I've never heard that. Now the one part I think that I don't know if this is what they were shooting for, but this is what I got from it. When that whole scene was going down, where all the blood was like dripping from the house, and it was kind of like this rain shower type thing, and the way it was like how the blood was going down the steps, I got the Shining vibes from that. I
Mhm.
don't know if you did. I got the Shining vibes and I got Evil Dead vibes. Cause remember that blood shower that happened in Evil Dead when that thing
Mhm.
was like arisen from hell or whatever and started coming out of the ground or whatever when it was that blood
Yeah.
shower. Like those were the two things that I got out of that scene. But that was my favorite scene in the whole movie is when they was doing that and that thing was just hovering over. Man, that was wild, man. Like it was something totally different, and it was so funny seeing Angel hiding up under the table. Fuck that table gonna
Mhm.
do, man. If that thing wanted to suck you up,
Absolutely
it was
nothing.
sucking you up.
Yeah, absolutely nothing. My favorite part of it all was when Emerald finally figured out how to catch it and defeat it. And I thought that, you know what I'm saying, that was dope because this is the first time you really see her and her brother come together and team up and really do something, right? Like this is the chance where he actually listening to her for a change. It ain't no, you know what I'm saying, you need to do this, you need no, it's like he really taking heed of what she got to say. And you know what I'm saying, they actually agreeing on something and they actually being the brother and the sister for a change. And I thought that was
Hmm.
the best part of it because ultimately when they finally did come together and when they did depend on each other, then they ended up, you know what I'm saying, getting rid of the alien and getting it out the way. And I thought that was the, you know what I'm saying, best part of the movie for me.
Yeah, I mean that was dope as well, but also seeing how OJ figured out the whole thing of like, well, if I don't look at it, it can't suck me up. And then like
Mm-hmm.
how the one TMZ dude came and they was trying to tell his ass not to go out there, but TMZ being TMZ, uh, he ride out there and they was like, yo, what happens to an electric bike going 60 miles per hour? It meets a, a magnetic force or some shit like that. Man, they threw that dude off of that bike, but he broke his arm and
Flung his
everything.
ass.
Suck a
But I
man,
will say his
dumbass.
helmet was sweet as hell though.
Yeah, that was dope, and it was a mirror
His
helmet.
helmet was
And
fire.
then like when OJ had noticed that it was coming back, he was like, "Sorry, I gotta do this to you, bro." And then he just got back on the horse. He just left a man down there. But
Got up out of
but
there.
like that thing, man, that thing was doing everything that it could to try to get OJ to look at him, and
Mm-hmm.
he would not. And it would just, and I like how they showed us how he figured it out because it showed um because it was something about, I forget the name of that black horse, but when they was at that when they was at that shooting and that guy put that mirror looking thing in front of that horse's eyes, it apparently it
Mm-hmm.
did something to it. I think it blinded. I
Mm-hmm.
think it actually made the horse blind. So
Well, it
it couldn't
actually
take that
seen
horse.
it probably just seen his reflection and freaked the fuck out.
Yeah, because remember when Ricky was doing the show and then the entity came and it sucked everybody up, the horse was still
Mm-hmm.
there. Remember, OJ went back to go get the horse.
Yep.
So it could not do anything with that horse. And then OJ figured it out. It was like, oh man, it was when, he saw whatever he saw and it don't, because also remember there was one scene where OJ was doing some shit like he was on like a flag or something, and he was trying to
Mm-hmm.
see if the horse was reacting to it, and it wasn't. That's why I think that it must have made the horse blind because it wasn't reacting to whatever OJ was doing at the time
Yeah.
when they was like out on the ranch. So the man, this is one of those things where it's like, what was they smoking when they came up with this script? Like
Well,
to be
not
that
only that
creative.
though. No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying to be that creative. Like, I mean, I know
Yeah.
people think I'm box. Don't get me wrong. Like, we have some smart people in the business, but it's just like that was so out of the box. It's just like who sits around and really thinks like that.
Absolutely. And then like the thing that I was gonna add to what you were saying as well was that, you know what I'm saying, you also gotta remember that at the end of the day, like it wasn't just because I know earlier I said, well, maybe it's just going after something with eyes or faces. But then you gotta look at it like it couldn't have been that, because when they threw up the flag people and they had them going up all across the, you know what I'm saying, across the farm, it didn't attack none of them. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So now that you say that, like I really don't know what it could be.
What What do you like? The thing was so odd, and when it finally like opened up, and then you started to look at it and it looked like this fucking big ass balloon type thing, and I didn't get
Hmm.
the square. I guess the square thing was supposed to be its face, and then like it'll like
See,
do.
I thought it was supposed to be an eyeball.
I don't know what that was, man. And then like it would
Cause
like it'll look like it's breathing, and then it look like these ribbons are like flying, and I'm
hmm
like, it's like
well,
what the
see, I thought it was supposed to be an eyeball, and I thought the black thing in the middle was supposed to be the pupil. Cause remember when it had went over the big well camera, and she finally snapped it, it fucked with it a little bit.
man.
So
I don't know what that thing's supposed to be. It is that's why it's so different in the approach that he took. And I remember when this movie came out and like, you know, I know Joe killed it. He was like, and everybody had to run and joke, did you go see it? And they was like, nope. You know what I
hmm
mean? And it's just like to me, to go into a film, especially in a time like this, we're getting a lot of remakes. We're getting a lot
hmm
of movies that either is a remake or continuing a story. Now, me personally, yeah, I fuck with a lot of that type shit. Only if it's good. I hate when they fuck shit up. But
I
the
agree.
thing is, it's like how many Children of the Corn movies can we get? How many Halloween movies can we
Right.
get? How many like there's like everybody is they're bringing another Scream back. I see it's another Final Destination coming back. I see it's
hmm
another Saw movie coming. I thought this dude was
Yeah.
dead 8 Saws ago. You know what I'm saying?
Well, shit, I
So
thought he
it's just
died out
like,
with the one with Chris Rock.
man, he was dead before that. So it's like to have a movie to to be this different, to be like I don't even know, like they called it like an alien, but it's just like no, it's a different take on aliens. But then at the
hmm
same time, it's like a living, like some kind of different living organism that could form itself to look like a spaceship or a UFO,
Right.
but then can open up and it kind of look like a, I don't even know. Like that. That's what's so great about it. It's like the unexplainable that can't be explained,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what was really refreshing about this movie. Not only do you got good actors in it, like I said, yeah, I do feel like Kiki Palmer was doing the most, but then at the same time, I think that that's what her character was supposed to do. I think that they were
Yeah.
supposed to be two opposites, and she really
Yep.
brought the comic relief to it. Even though Daniel did too, in his own way. You know what I'm saying? He
Mm-hmm.
brought you the serious humor, um, but she brought you the humor. You know what I'm saying, to make you laugh out loud type of thing. Um, but I don't know what that thing was. I don't know what it was supposed to be, but it was just a different take on the movie. And I think the reason why some people killed it the way that they did was because it's what happens when people say, when basically somebody say, "Yo, that movie is stupid," and be like, "Why stupid? Because I
Yeah.
don't get it." And it's like, well, the movie can't be stupid if you don't get it. So, and I think that this movie is so different where I think a lot of people didn't get it, and I think that when that's just like if someone is different, if somebody have different interests. Okay, for instance, like goth people, right? Like people
Yeah.
say goth people are weird, but it's just like no, they're not weird. They just got their own thing, and you don't understand it. And I think that that's what this movie was. It was just like I'm not saying that I completely understand the movie. I just appreciate the movie for being so different, to bring
Right.
something to the screen that we never seen before,
Mm-hmm.
and for them to take the opportunity to, all right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to capture this on film. Usually
Right.
somebody would be like, you know how I go. About people like, you know what, I'm leaving. Like I'm not staying around for this shit. Like I'm out of here. But like they was like, no, we're gonna capture this shit on camera because he was about to lose the ranch. He needed bread.
Yeah.
So he's like, yo,
Yeah.
if we can capture this, and we can get Oprah money. So they
Mm-hmm.
took an opportunity and they was like, yo, we're gonna try to maximize our opportunity to catch this thing on camera. And they went that route instead of the running route to try to run away from it.
Mm-hmm. 100%. And the whole thing that's kind of messed up about all of it was the fact that you know here, like you said earlier, here they are trying to keep their family business afloat, and then you got a guy like Rick who, and then it's like people was using them too, because like you had the Rick character who was basically just like using their horses, you know what I'm saying, to kind of
Hmm.
attract it or whatever it was, because the whole thing with Rick was he wanted to catch it. He wanted to see what
Yep.
it was, and he tried to catch it. That was his whole thing. And then you had Angel, who, like you said, I mean, his wasn't as malicious, but you know what I'm saying. He just wanted some. He wanted some people to talk to, some friends. He was just going through a breakup, whatever. So he was kind of just relying on their company. You know what I'm saying, to keep him. You know what I'm saying. I mean, for him to stay around and everything else. He was, you know what I'm saying, just kind of relying on them. And then um you had Antler, who you know what I'm saying, even though he wanted to film this and he wanted to get the impossible shot and all this other shit, at the end of it, he was like, nobody else deserves to see this. And it's like, yo, who are you to say that? Like it's already four of us out here. You get to make the final decision because you got the camera. Like, no, that's fucked up. And so he sacrificed himself and the camera and everything else. So it was just at the end of the day, it was just kind of fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like at the end, when it all was said and done, they were the only two that they could depend on. You know what I mean? When it was all said and done, and that's why I said that it was so good to see them at the end come together and do what they did. Because I mean, really, that's they from beginning of the movie all the way to the end of the movie, they were the only ones that they had. They just had to realize, like, yo, it ain't nobody but me and you now. Pop ain't here no more. You know what I'm saying? Mom gone. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? We gotta hold this down. We gotta make sure this city staying afloat.
And then I like how it was so well. We got to get Emerald props for the whole fake horse
Yeah.
thing because that was the only reason why this shit worked. Because
Mm-hmm.
at the end, when he was trying to get it away from his sister so she could crank up the electric bike, he was
Mm-hmm.
looking up at it, and
Yeah.
he the entity wouldn't suck him up because he was on the horse and the horse still was dragging that parachute looking
Mm-hmm.
thing. So it was just like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, I'm not fucking with that thing, and like he just had a face off with it, and it would not suck him up, but man, this for this movie to start the build up the way that they did, it started out with just objects falling out of the sky, killing his dad.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know what's going on. So then he think he sees something, but they don't really. They show you a little tiny glimpse of it. So he tell his sister,
Yeah.
they're like, all right. They come to the conclusion we're gonna spend all the money that we basically don't have to go buy all this equipment to try to make money.
Mm-hmm.
So then it just shows you this fucking cloud, and then the angel notices it. He was like, y'all. He was like, oh shit, it's real. And they're like, the fuck you talking about? He was like, y'all haven't noticed it yet. And so he played them the playback and showed that this one cloud is just fucking sitting there and it's not moving. And it's
I
like,
mean, but he even OJ even kind of seen that from when the fake horse got sucked up.
yeah, but he was like, yo, he was like, now that I think about it, he's like, I think I've been looking at the same cloud for the last 6 weeks
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
didn't even notice it. And it's like, who is sitting in a room and it's like, yo, you know what'd be dope? That it hide behind this one cloud and this cloud don't move for weeks. Like it's like it's
Mm-hmm.
like who it's like who comes up with this shit, man? And that's why I say like, Jordan and his team that he have around him, man, like coming up with these unorthodox movies. The only thing that sucks about it is the fact of there's not a lot of unorthodox people. And you have people who are so used to movies going with a certain format. And
Yeah.
so you have all of these movies that are coming out, and you're hearing people either complaining about a certain amount of movies or just sticking with what works. I mean, I just saw some shit today that said that the new Avatar movie is at $950 million,
Yeah.
and it's just like, now don't get me wrong. Am I gonna watch it at some point? Yeah, I mean, I watched the first one, so I might as well watch the second one. But but what I'm saying is, like, with this movie being what it is, it's kind of like what Antler said. Like Antler said, people don't deserve this, to see this or whatever, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with this is like, bam, I got it for you. You're a music guy. To me, Jordan Peele is kind of like the Kendrick Cole of rap, right? And what I mean by that is Cole and Kendrick are basically looking at the rap game right now and they're like, yo, do I even want to be a part of this shit? Like the type of
Right.
rap that I'm trying to do, the type of music that I appreciate, the lyricism that I do, it's not the popular thing. It's not exactly what people are looking for. And when it comes to Jordan Peele, he is like the Kendrick Cole of the movie industry because they're doing things on such an unorthodox level that it's so different from what everybody else is doing. Like Kendrick got his own sound, like he don't dumb down his lyrics for a radio play or for TikTok or something like that. And that goes the same with Cole. Like Cole is not doing anything. Like he did the KOD album, but the KOD album was just to be like, yo, for number one, y'all kids need to get off drugs. But then at the same time, what I'm showing you is I can step into that lane if I want to. Like that to me, that was just the album to be like, all right, all y'all kids love this type of music. I can do this type of music if I want to. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna give y'all a little album to give y'all a taste of what I can do. And like when it comes to Jordan and his team, like he's doing these movies that I don't think a lot of people in this generation is gonna appreciate. Like that's the whole point that I'm making right now. Like this generation is not gonna appreciate Cole and Kendrick the way that they should be appreciated. And I don't think people are going to appreciate what these movies that Jordan is doing. I don't think they're going to appreciate it the way that it should be.
Okay, so I 100% agree with what you're saying, but to me, I liken it more to Alfred Hitchcock, right? So
Okay.
when um when Alfred Hitchcock came out, he came out with all of these different movies that had all of these different twists and spins and you know what I'm saying, different layers and shit to it. And at the time when it was coming out, people weren't really fucking with it. They was just like, yo, what is this bullshit that this dude is putting out together? I mean, you know what I'm saying, like just putting together and putting out. And
Hmm.
eventually, as time went on, they end up becoming masterpieces. And I think that with what Peele brings to what Peele brings to his films is always, you know what I'm saying, it's always that extra layer of something inside the film. It's never just what you see. It's never just on the surface. It's always something that's, you know what I'm saying, some type of undertone or you know what I'm saying, some type of mystery or something that can be solved as well as everything else. Just like you know what I'm saying? I look at it as where once everybody watches it, it's up to their own interpretation of what it is. Like I've heard so many theories and thoughts about, you know what I'm saying, just the film Us. You know what I mean? I've heard the same thing about Get Out, how, you know what I'm saying, for most people, Get Out is basically a horror story for black men. And you know what I'm saying? Like we say it's a horror story, but like my you know what I'm saying, like I've been around my white friends and they be like, what you mean it's not a horror movie though? And I'm like, yeah, but we saying horror movie like in the allegorical sense, not necessarily like it's a horror movie that we used to seeing. Like it's a horror movie for us because you know what I'm saying, we know exactly how it feels to be dude in that situation to where, you know, society like because I was trying to explain to him that those people aren't those people in this movie. Those people are considered like society. And then he isn't considered himself. He's considered, you know what I'm saying, the black male of our society. So, you know what I'm saying, like how they're basically trying to you know what I'm saying, take his brain or take his body and, you know what I'm saying, use him to, you know what I'm saying, use the wealth. I'm like, it speaks to so much in our society. It's not just physical, you know what I'm saying? It's hypothetical, it's metaphorical, like, you know, it's more than just, oh, they want to live in his body. They're using his body for stuff, you know what I'm saying? They're using him like the fact that, you know what I'm saying, the fact that that family is using their daughter to bring them, you know what I'm saying, to bring you know, seeing these black dudes there, like so. With this movie, with Nope, I think it's more so just the fact of how Black America is trying to stay afloat, and you know, you just got everything coming at you every which way. You know what I'm saying? Like just the fact that you know the hidden history. You know, just starting off with the hidden history of their great grandfather. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, dude, they talked about the dude who's supposed to be the grandfather of film, but the person who's in it isn't even, you know what I'm saying, considered the grandfather of actors or whatever, or stuntmen or whatever the case
Stuntman,
may
yeah.
be. Yeah, just you know what I mean. Just in general, like they don't consider him, you know what I'm saying, in the same light as whoever produced the movie, or even just for that matter, the fact that they have a whole farm and they're basically just trying to keep it afloat by get you know what I'm saying by selling horses to whatever production team is looking for horses or whatever. So you know what I mean, like it can be looked at in a myriad of ways, and I think that eventually, as time goes on, you'll see people who learn to appreciate Peele's art the same way that they did eventually for Hitchcock, and how Hitchcock eventually start having like all of these, like he amassed all of these followers. Because I remember like in like the '90s, like it was a big thing for people to be like on Hitchcock. You know what I'm saying? Like especially like when AMC and all them used to have a horror fest. I remember they used to have like Alfred Hitchcock marathons. So like I feel like after a certain amount of time, if Jordan Peele could keep this type of stuff up, eventually we'll see that same type of love for him that we've seen for guys like Alfred Hitchcock.
And to finish that point before we get to Fire Flames, number one, Birds to me, fire. Like
Mhm.
I completely looked at Birds completely different after I seen that movie. And that movie came out, I think, if
Mhm.
I'm not mistaken, 1963, I think. And
It
that
might
was a,
have.
Alfred Hitchcock movie as well. And I think that another movie, like to go off of your thought with um with Get Out, is
Mhm.
so I used to work with this dude back in the day when I was in high school, back when I worked at Wendy's. He this dude was a horror fanatic like I was. And so
Mhm.
we used to share horror movies with each other to watch. So he told me to watch this movie called Rosemary's Baby. And
Oh my
he was
god.
like, man, he was like, it's the scariest shit I ever seen. Nah, nah, nah. I watched that movie and I'm like, yo, this movie is trash. And
Yeah.
then once I watched it again, like as an adult, and I was like, okay, I get it. Like the whole moral of the story is it's Satan's baby that she's carrying. You know,
Mhm.
it gives you all of these little signs of where, her pregnancy was this, it was that, it was a little different. But when you think about, I mean, Rosemary's Baby came out in the 70s.
Yeah.
So to think about a woman who's carrying a baby and then come to find out it's Satan's baby, like
Mhm.
that is the horror part of it. Like you don't
Yeah,
get
but
stunts and
you also got to
blood.
remember you also got to remember the time frame that they was coming off of too. They was coming
Yeah,
off of Manson and you know what I'm saying, going into Bundy and all them. So it was like it was a bunch of shit happening around that time. You know what I'm saying? Like they just came out of war and all this other shit. So for them, anything as far as entertainment went, they was bound to believe.
yeah. So I think that like that was more of like you said, like the way that we looked at it as horror. When you think about that time frame in the 70s and shit like that, like yeah, it's super
Mhm.
scary to think, oh man, this woman is carrying a baby and it's the devil's baby. You know what I mean? So like,
Mhm.
yeah, I think it kind of fit in that category as well. So that's yeah, yeah. You on your shit today, man.
I agree. I agree, man. Good point. Good point. So let's go ahead and get into Fire Flame.
Let's do it.
Yoga fire! Yoga flame!
All right, man. So what you got?
Um, so with this movie being what it is, man, I just watched it for the third time. And it's like every time I watch it, pick up on a little something new. But what I appreciate about this movie, like I said, the cast was good. Daniel Kaluuya is proving that he's a star. Kiki been doing it for a long time. I haven't seen my dude since I've been watching uh The Walking Dead. You know what I'm saying? He was Glenn in The Walking Dead. I haven't really seen
Mhm.
him since then. But Angel, he did a really good. The dude to play Angel, he did a good job. But honestly, man, it's don't get me wrong, it's not the greatest movie in the world. I'm gonna give it a 4. It's really close to a 4.5, but I'm gonna give it a 4. I just love the uniqueness of it for just being
Yeah.
something that I never seen before, and I think that Jordan Peele is really on to something. For him to, and people act like when he first came out that just because he did comedy that he couldn't do horror movies for some odd reason, which I didn't
Hey,
understand.
them are some of the most morbid people in the world.
Like just but also just to be that simple minded to be like, oh well, he does comedy skits. He should do comedy
Hmm.
movies. It's like, no, he shouldn't have to do comedy movies just because he's a you know what I'm saying, he's funny. So
Right.
yeah, I think he's proven a lot of people wrong, man. So so yeah, I'm gonna give Nope a 4, man.
I'm gonna have to agree with you, man. I'm also giving it a four. Not only is the um, not only is the movie to me, it's a good movie because first and foremost, it's about aliens, and this is a different take. To me, I always say like when you bring something fresh and new to the spot, you automatically get, you know what I'm saying, a silver medal. You automatically get a silver medal. And the fact that we had a different take on aliens, right? Because this whole time watching this, like I said, you think that this is a UFO. You don't even realize that this is the alien. You know what I'm saying? Like he just put a whole
Yep.
spin on a bunch of shit for us. Like we thinking that UFOs look at something. Well, nigga, what if the UFO is the alien? You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't even think about that shit. You know what I'm saying? So like him putting that into perspective, him adding that and mixing it all up. Then not even that, him bringing sci-fi back to the horror genre. You know what I'm saying? And mixing those two. I think that was dope. The casting itself is dope as well. Anytime he get with Daniel Kaluuya, you already know it's gonna be something to watch. And then Kiki Palmer, bro, you gotta give her goddamn flowers because she showed her ass in this film. I'm talking about from start to finish, like she really held like held her own and held it down and made it worth, you know what I'm saying, watching even more. So the fact that you get to see you know what I'm saying, all these dope ass black people do their thing. Then you know what I'm saying, you also got a mixture of everybody else in there as well. Then on top of that, it's a sci-fi film. On top of it being a horror film, and it came out being like some great fucking graphics because I'm not gonna lie.
Hmm.
When that motherfucker opened up at the end and it started doing the waves and shit in front of Daniel Kaluuya, I was like, yo, that's fucking fire. To me, that was the best, one of the best parts of the whole movie. So to see that was dope as hell. And then you know what I'm saying, not to see like no weak ass, cheap ass CGI, and you actually get a chance to see some real shit. I appreciated it. So yeah, I'm going for
I ain't mad at it, man. We on the same page today.
for sure, man. Now let's go ahead and get into the coming soon.
Let's do it.
Coming soon to own on video and DVD.
All right, man. So what we got next?
So man, we got a movie, man, where they don't do this anymore, man. There was a little time where they was doing this little thing, and this was what I'm talking about, people. Listen, let me just rattle off some names to you real quick. You got Sarah Jessica Parker, Jessica Biel,
Mhm.
Ashton Kutcher,
Mhm. Mhm.
Michelle Pfeiffer, Zac
Mhm.
Efron.
Mhm.
You got Robert De Niro, Holly
Mhm.
Berry,
Mhm.
Alyssa Milano, Common,
Mhm.
Seth Meyers, Sarah
Mhm.
Paulson.
Mhm.
Yeah, y'all
Mhm.
getting my drift? There was a time where
Man.
they were putting all of these great actors in one movie, and one of the movies that's an example is Valentine's Day. Like it was
Yep.
just like all of the top. Is Katherine Heigl's in the shit. Well, the movie I'm talking
Mhm.
about, since we got New Year's coming up, we're doing the movie New Year's Eve. Um, I ain't even gonna lie to you, my guy. I forgot what the movie was even about. It's so many people in it. I don't even remember the
Yeah.
storyline. But we just
We just
really
know it's
doing it,
all
man.
based around New Year's Eve.
Yeah, and it's gonna be New Year's Eve, coming soon. So this is gonna be the next episode that's coming out. And if I'm not mistaken, this episode coming up will be the last episode of this year. So
Mhm.
so yeah, man, this is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be really interesting to do this one.
100%, man. I can't wait to see this one as well. I haven't seen this since it came out.
Yeah, I
Um,
haven't seen it since it came out.
so this is definitely gonna be worth a rewatch. Definitely. So listen, guys, if you love this episode, if you didn't love this episode, if you liked this movie, if you didn't understand this movie, if you were sitting at the movie theater saying, "Okay, did we start the movie yet?" hit us up on socials, man. Instagram and Twitter at ViewerNonPod. You could also hit us up on Facebook at VA Pod Watch Group. Also, make sure um that what I'm saying you let us know how everything went by liking, subscribing, sharing, telling a friend to tell a friend, and of course, please rate the podcast as well. Um, and then as far as me, man, you can hit me up on Twitter at Schools Bronson. I have a link tree in my bio. You can follow me everywhere else there. That's all I got.
Cool, cool, man. And y'all can catch me at s.foster8 on Instagram and on Twitter at 28 minutes or less pod. That's just on Instagram. Follow the podcast 28 minutes or less. Man, I dropped the final episode of this year. I dropped it the other day, man. Episode 109 is my favorite shows of 2022, man. Just rambled off on some shows that I thoroughly enjoyed this year. So y'all go check that out. Let me know what you think. It might be some shows that you ain't heard of, might be some shows where you're just trying to figure out, trying to find something to watch. With all this free time, all y'all busters got off like you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't get no days off. You know what I'm saying? Except my weekend. You know what I mean? but I dropped some shows on there. Man, had to shout my guy Scoots Bronson out because it was some shows that you made me aware of as well.
That's
But
what's up, man.
but yeah, man, go check that out on all major platforms.
For sure, man. And listen. Before we get out of here, man, got to tell you this. You know
What's
what I'm
up?
saying? It's another show. I don't know if I told you about this yet, and I think I said it on. I know I said it on the what we watching already. So I'm not worried about that part. But did you watch 1988 yet?
No, 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 no. I ain't got it in
I
there
mean, not
yet.
1988. What was it?
It's
1899.
17. Oh, I thought it was
Was it
17.99. No, I
1899?
think it is 18. I think it is 18.99.
It
Yeah,
might be just whichever something like is whatever team
yeah.
99. Did you start that yet?
I haven't. I haven't started that yet. No.
Man, hey, when you get to that shit, oh boy, oh fucking boy, yeesh.
It got
It's
better.
like, bruh, it's like some Twilight Zone shit mixed with like the premise of Titanic with a like ghost ship. There's a whole bunch of shit just mixed together. That shit got good, man. It got real good. So if y'all
Cause
listening,
see,
go check out. I think it's eighteen ninety
I
nine.
think it's
Y'all go check that out.
18.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's on Netflix. Y'all go check that out. I'm telling y'all, bro. If y'all are into like murder mystery, if y'all into like thrillers, you know what I'm saying, horror, if y'all into just like this spooky sci-fi shit, this is the one, bro. This shit is good. This shit is real good. So
That's
definitely
what's
go
up,
check that
man.
out.
Yeah, I got two shows on the what we watching for Friday, so I
Okay.
get them out in the world.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta find some new shit to talk about, but I definitely will have something on Friday. But listen, man, you know what I'm saying? Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for the support. It's always greatly appreciated. Can't wait to see you guys on the next episode. One more episode is left until the new year. With that being said, this new year coming up, we have some good things in store. Videos will be back up. I'm working on getting my laptop back, so hopefully I have that back before the first, well, before the end of the first week of the new year. So we'll have that going, and then I'm thinking about, what I'm saying, I gotta get S dots, what I'm saying, ideas about this. I'm thinking about us starting like maybe like a Patreon or, what I'm saying, doing some bonus episodes on the side, getting some stuff together once we can get everything else in order. But I think we can possibly get some stuff together for you guys to get some extra content and all that. Where if you are interested, you can opt in, check that out as well. But I'm working on getting the details for that, so you guys just stay tuned. And so of course I gotta run about S dot first, and then we'll see what he says, and then after that, we'll make an announcement. But outside of that, man, listen, enjoy your holidays. We hope you guys had a very Merry Christmas, and we hope you also have a beautiful and happy New Year. Until then, what I'm saying, we will see you guys, and like they say in Hollywood, man, that's the wrap.
Cut.